The misty mountains cold. What's good, my people? What's poppin', everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for me to do some bullshit. This is a different video. Right now, I am making tileable terrain for D&D. I know this is not what you guys are here for. You guys are here for my drawings and talks, but I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm just switching it up. I'm trying to be more of a hermit wizard type, where I'm just crafting shit. In this age of AI and digital, be brave and become a woodland hermit. It's crazy. I went back to more hands-on shit. It's been inspiring. So essentially what I'm doing is I am making tileable terrain. So this is XPS foam, and I used an X-Acto blade to kind of cut off the edges, and I'm making like a stone tile here so you guys can see. Hold on. So I make this stone tile, and it's essentially terrain for my players to play on. So I have Piccolo, right? You can just like stand there, aura farming, right? So I have a bunch of terrain that I've made, but this one I'm making it 2.6D. 2.6D. It's not just 2D, but it's flippable. So this is wood, and I'm gonna paint it and all that. And then look at that. Oh shit. Look at this. Look at that boy. He's just standing right there. Right? So I can do this. The more I make these, I could tile them on, and I could make like a 4x4 square little plane where players can interact, and I could set dress the environment. So I do have a bunch of terrain that I've made, and I want to make them portable, so they're kind of like flat enough. But I realize I don't really have a lot of like woodland stuff where my players can interact with. So I got some moss, I'm getting like plants. So yeah, and essentially I use some wood glue, or you can use, what is it called again? Oh my God. The glue gun. Just clip these on, and then slowly over time, I could tile these in, and as they're exploring a dungeon, I'm gonna have longer ones where it's just roads or just long hallways. And these are popsicle sticks. And the way I cut these edges is I use scissors. It's not that hard. It kind of cuts pretty easily. And I made a bunch of these stone tiles. Now, you can use an X-Acto blade, but the problem is that it's a bitch to cut these. So I went ahead and bought me a hot wire cutter a while back, and then I texture these. One day I don't have my terrain with me. It's in my car, but I'll essentially just, after I tile these, I'll add some dense wear and tear into this. Shout out to the crafting community. Hey, you know, I'm learning, but it's been so much fun just doing this, and it's a good break from everything that I do, because I don't want to be drawing all the time. I want to do some other things, you know, practice some music, do a little bit of a workout, practice some boxing, do a little bit of graffiti and tagging. So hopefully you guys can follow along with me. I mean, you don't need to be doing this, but again, this is a draw along or craft along. Yeah, let me call it that. Craft along. It's a craft along video. And then you guys can, I'm crafting and you guys can be drawing. So yeah, man, I've been playing more D&D. I have a little bit of time off. School's out. A bunch of the students are graduating, moving on to bigger things. They're not tied to the college grind. You feel me? Now they got to do the life grind. That's where the real fun begins. But yeah, man, this has been a good ass time. I'm not really good at this. I don't know. I think I'm just too careful and I don't measure properly, but whatever. Whatever. So again, I appreciate y'all for always tuning in. Hope you guys have been good. But I do want to talk about how I realize, like, the more I'm seeing all this news and social media and everything's being digital and AI, and I just went back to, let me just be a kid again. Let me just go back to crafting and making things physically. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been DMing more on my time off, and I want to DM a lot more. So I'm trying to make time for my play group. Oh shit, what the hell? Oh my goodness, come on, bro. I think I gotta press this down some. Okay, I got it. So I gotta do this, and then I gotta put another one. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see. Okay. Do something like that, maybe. So yeah. Yeah, the world's crazy, man. The world is crazy. So here I am being a hermit. I want to be a caved woodland, like, wizard. An old wizard. I'm getting old. So I'm going to do old things. Let me just craft and conjure up magnificent worlds. Hopefully you guys are too. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I've been DMing more. I ran a game for my old friends from high school. And it was funny because, I mean, they're nerds, but they're nerds in the sense of, like, back then you had to be like a low-key nerd, especially if you lived in Ktown. So I ran a game with some folks. I'm not gonna out them out, but they were like some of them were like ex-bangers. But I was curious, like, they wanted to play, and they're a really good group, but I was like, oh man, I don't know how it's gonna go for them. I don't know if they're gonna enjoy the game or if they're gonna think it's stupid, if they're gonna be bored. So anytime I run a game of D&D, I always try to make it as not fast as possible, but I make sure everyone's involved at the same time. Because at no point will I allow my players to wait more than 3 minutes before it's their turn. This is a little funky, but okay, whatever. Yeah, let me press this down. I don't think it's working too well. So I make sure that everyone's engaged at all times. And I was worried. I was like, oh man, I got this little quick one shot ready for them, but like, I don't know. Will ex gangbangers like be into this kind of thing? I don't know. And then one of the homies, like, he's an art director at a design firm, and him and I, like, we were always nerds, and I always looked up to him. He was such an amazing artist, and he used to make manga and comics, and he's the one that brought it up. Like, hey, I want to play some D&D. And I'm like, dude, I got you, bro. But then the rest, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are they a little too street for this? But then again, you know, they're nerds too. You know, they like anime. So okay, so I go in. I'm like, oh man, I don't know how it's gonna be, but let's just run it. Minute one, niggas were laughing their asses off. Like the moment they rolled that dice, they were screaming at the results. I put them in a gladiatorial arena, like just straight in, just force them into this gladiatorial arena, and they can choose to either fight and get a prize with their life or play it safe and get a smaller prize. And these guys are risk takers. They're like, oh, hell nah. We ain't bitches. Are we going straight in? We going in for the big bucks. And I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be hilarious. And the first thing they did, like first minute in, deaths were happening, just flying across the board. Heads were being chopped off, and they were just cracking up the whole time. It was so much fun. I often underestimate new players to the hobby, like at how open and free and creative they are, because you would think like it would be difficult for them to imagine, but I often find it's players who've never really played the game are often the most have most imagination, because they're not bound or being bogged down by rules. And the system that I use, I don't use 5e. I use a lot of OSR rules because it's quick. I make sure turns go like that. Sometimes I'll do simultaneous turns. So at no point are people waiting for things to happen. But yeah, they were just chugging down beers and whiskeys and rolling ones and rolling highs and lows, killing things, and it was such a great time. I think this was probably one of my favorite groups of all time. So yeah, man, that was great. And then I have another group that I run with. And every group I play with, I don't think I've ever had a bad group. It's always been a good time. I will say running D&D online is a pain. I ran it for some friends who've never played, and it was really hard. I think running it online for me is very, very difficult. And I felt so bad, just like things weren't working properly. Yeah, it's just, you're just not as engaged versus when you're next to people, right? When you're next to other people sitting around the table, you can see people's expressions. You could touch the board. You could interact with each other, see each other laugh and smile and get angry. It adds so much to the experience that's missing through online. So I always prefer to do it in person. I will drive an hour to your house to host a game of D&D. I will make time out of my day. So yeah, so that's been a lot of fun, y'all. Now I'm doing this thing. Now I'm doing this thing. I gotta cut more squares. Oh my God, spacing is off. So essentially I'm gonna be making more, and I do these little tilings like that. And then I could just tile them on, and then here's Piccolo, and he can stand. And all this is gonna be painted. I do sponge paint, dry brush technique, and yeah, I love crafting. I'm excited to use this. And I can make this flat enough where it's portable, right? So if I had like 4 of these, you know, I just get like a little stack. I could carry it in my bag, lay them out, create like a little dungeon. I used to do this stuff when I was a kid. Not so much the crafting element, but just crafting little homebrew RPG systems with the homie I used to have. We ain't homies no more. But yeah, I mean, I did a lot of that in class. Never paid attention. Just doing a whole lot of nothing but crafting. And now look at me. Now I'm back here being a wizard hermit of the Dwarven Kingdom. Dwarven Forge is too expensive. I can't afford that stuff. So XPS foam, some wood glue, hot glue gun. Hey, man. Your homie set. Your boy set right now. So let's see what I gotta do now. Do I gotta wait for this to dry? I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, so if I did this, maybe like this. Yeah, I think that's better. So now I could do this. Skling, you see that? Ooh, my boy. My boy. So yeah, let me get the damn thing going. The damn thing. Oh wait, I shouldn't be using this anymore. I found out it's better to use a stick. Oh! Woo. Close. Almost dropped that wood glue. Here we go. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. It is Friday, my time. And yeah, gonna have a little bit of time off between work stuff. And yeah, get to drawing, y'all, man. Do a little something. Craft your little thing. I know y'all used to make little dioramas. I remember I used to make like little house dioramas with paper. When I was a kid, I lived with different people my whole life, and like one of the people that I lived with who used to, this witch lady, she didn't allow us to have toys. And then she also didn't allow us to have, like, make things out of paper. So I remember me and my cousin, we're not blood related, but we grew up together, so he's pretty much my brother. We would craft paper toys and like weapons and guns and stuff. We used to watch The Mummy a lot, and we thought, man, the main character, he has a whole arsenal of weapons. Like, let's make that. And then we would like hide it under the bed so she won't find out. Because if she did, oh my God. And she did at one point. Like, she found out. She tore everything apart. And she whooped our asses. Called it like the devil or something. Anyways. Yeah, and like, we used to have so much fun. I used to have... because like living in that environment, you just had less things, right? You just don't have a lot. So you just made do with what you had. And then when I used to live with my mom, and she tried to give me the whole world, like she tried to buy me everything. And yeah, I was very grateful. But during that time, it was like, you just had to make do with what you had. And there was so much creativity that I think is kind of lost now because of social media. Like, we just have infinite access to everything. Everything's so convenient, so I don't have to problem solve with what I have. Instead, I would just try to make more money so I could just buy it and not deal with the inconvenience of having to figure it out, right? And I think that goes with art. That's especially the case with art. And I don't like that I kind of lost that ability of just like problem solving with just paper. And I found like some YouTube channels of these dungeon master crafters, these DMs who make their own terrain, and they just use everyday household items to just make stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember this. Like, I want to go back and do this. So playing D&D has given me more of an excuse because I want to immerse my players a little bit more into the world. So it feels more tangible. And yeah, that's been great. And again, it's giving me an excuse to make this stuff, and I'm so excited. I know a lot of people who DM, it is exhausting, and they don't want to DM anymore, but I love DMing. And it's not so much because like I want to tell people my story. It's mostly because I want to just set the stage with problems and just see how players organically just create their own story and problem solve in ways that I've never would have imagined. They would do things and I'm like, whoa, I never would have thought of that. That's cool. And I don't restrict them too. As long as it's within reason, I don't restrict them. As long as they're not doing something ridiculous. So yeah, I love that I went back to do more stuff like this. I've always done stuff like this. So now actually I gotta, okay, so you guys are seeing here, I got my little thing laid out. I might have to cut this down some. I didn't realize that was so long. And season. Anyways, y'all. Look at that. Let's pick a load of scale. I also have a 3D printer. I plan to print some stuff. And yeah, over the summer, I'm going to be hosting more games. If you guys never played Dungeons and Dragons, yo, you give it a shot, man. Even if you have to play online, give it a try. The 5e, I think the official rules for D&D by Wizards of the Coast is a bit convoluted. I don't play with that. It's running a game for people who's never played D&D and using 5e is a nightmare. It's like you gotta fucking do taxes and homework. It's like a long sheet of bullshit and feats and subclasses. I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody got time for that shit. Like, we got jobs, we got fucking shit to do. We gotta do laundry. And you know, I would love to do that, but then not every player wants to do that. So I use a lot of the OSR. It's called old school Renaissance. They're very simple rule systems, rules light. It's rulings over rules. And they put emphasis on dungeon master before the rules. It's more dungeon master focused and less player focused, which makes it where players actually have more freedom. With all these rulings, man, you're just so restricted. You just gotta, everyone's flipping through rule sheets, figuring out how their class works. I'm like, man, just tell me what the spell is and I'll tell you what it does. Give me the name of that spell and I'll see what it does and then I'll just give you a target number. So yeah, give it a shot, y'all. I also do D&D for my students. Like I always try to run games for them, or especially during class, I'll have them roll up characters and give them scenarios that they have to illustrate. I teach like a storyboarding class. And after we do a bunch of exercises and homeworks, studies, we do a little D&D exercise in class. They roll up characters. It takes literally like 3 minutes to roll up a character in the old school style of D&D. And yeah, and it's a good time. It's a good time. So I try to incorporate that more into my lectures. Wow. Oh man, look at that. That's a nice little tile. Look at that boy. That boy got a little shing. So I'm gonna shut up now. I'm just gonna craft here for a bit. I feel like sometimes I ain't gotta talk too much. Okay. Wait a minute. go. Okay. Now I need to cut more of this. I shall be right back. Excuse me. Piccolo, keeping company. Okay. This is what I'm talking about here. This is what I have. Ooh. See if I can adjust this. So this is a hot wire cutter that I use to make my little squares. Let's see. I think I gotta cut this in half. Make sure this is straight. Oh. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. Gotta plug in the boy. You should just light this whole thing, huh? Oh my God, are you serious? Any better lighting? Hold on. Okay. What? Yes. Oh yeah, there we go. Got my little fairy lights on. I gotta cut these like this. Okay. Turn this on. So there's hot wire here. There's a hot wire underneath this thing. It begins to get super hot. And what I'm gonna do is I have to slice this through. Actually, I gotta do it like this. I don't have too much room. Okay, let me do this. Okay. So this makes it really easy to make these tiles, because having to use the X-Acto blade is such a pain. So this has been godsend. It's a little uneven, but it's okay. All right, now let's get to this. How will this work? Got enough room. Well, we'll make this. Gotta make this shorter. Is this even straight? Can't even tell. Oh, come on. Get in there. It's okay. This tiling is a little too short. Maybe? No, I think that's just right. Okay, and now gotta make these squares like this. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, that's so satisfying. Ooh yeah, baby. Oh yes. Crafting in my station. Keeping these bitches on rotation. Too much old block. Come around the sock. That boy don't know about this invocation. Spells in the dwells. D&D. Ringing church bells. Bringing all the lost sheep to this hot sermon. You best not bring in that hot bourbon. This the Lord's house. Lord Drizzt. Or is it getting busy? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking shit, y'all. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. Is this good? It's pretty small. Yeah, so look at that. Look at that shit, man. I got little tilings up in this bitch. Got little tilings up in this. Okay. Yeah, to create these by hand, I tried it once. It was a nightmare. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's not perfect. D&D, running the game of D&D. After that, the homie's gonna put that D in. Hey, pause. Hold on now. Hold on. I'm playing. I'm playing. Okay. Oh, come on. Get up in there. Get up in there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait a minute. Fuck, why are they leaning like that? Okay, I gotta put this back some. Okay, I just gotta wait. Yeah, it's a little off angle, but it's good. It gets the job done. Is this hot? Oh shit, it is hot. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay. So now I gotta adjust the wire. Good. Is that better? Oh my goodness. The fuck? Not like that. Let me try this again. Wait, it's not doing it. What am I doing wrong? Ooh. Is that all the tiles? Sweet. Now I got all these little brick tiles. Cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. So yeah, now I got all this stuff that I could use to make little tilings. It's hot as hell. What the fuck? What? I'm gonna cut this off. I don't like the way this came out. Okay. Actually, let me do this. It's like a factory. Okay. Okay, let me get to some yapping. So, look, I say this a lot in my videos, but you know, if you're an artist and you're creating something, please don't give up on it. I'm not trying to sell you this anime believe it dream. I'm not trying to say some shit like that. I'm just saying that you really have to set yourself to be, you really have to be your own fan, like your biggest fan. Even if the world seems to be going against the grain, you really have to do that. Like you can't half-ass the stuff that you're doing. Like you really have to go in. And everyone's gonna doubt you. You're gonna feel like you're not getting anywhere. I mean, I do all the time. But trust me when I say this, like you'll create something for yourself. You have to be as deluded as those rap artists who talk about how much money and bitches and cars but they don't have anything, and talking about all the other shit. Like you have to be that. You got to give yourself that level of delusion and work hard, right? Like don't just say that and then just talk about it. You got to be about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not on you, it's in you. I know they say like fake it till you make it, but I say just be it, man. Just be it. Uh-oh, this is gonna be tricky. Oh shit. Oh, that was weird. I'm trying to get near to the end of the video, but like please continue creating stuff, whether you're drawing, whether you're wait a minute, hold on, let me see. Yeah, whether you're drawing stuff or you're writing something, you have to really believe, like give yourself some grace and believe in the stuff that you're doing. That'll reach the right audience. Because if you're a fan of it, if you're the first person to be a fan of it, then other people will too. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, just believe it. So, and maybe you're not. Maybe you just want to just chill and relax and yeah, go create that thing. Go draw something, do a still life, create a little comic book. You know, you should. I believe human beings are meant to create more than we consume. We have the God consciousness within us. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like you're like God. Oh yeah, you're the shit. Well, yes, I am. You're saying that, but I'm saying you gotta manifest that creation mythos within yourself. Yeah, generator, ordinator, destroyer. Oh, this is too. Okay, it's a little too much. Okay. So please, y'all, get to crafting. I know there's an easier way to do this, more efficient than what I'm doing it now, but hey, I do what I do. Oh, that's not straight. Is this right? Oh, God, they're all leaning in an awkward angle. I don't like that. Okay, let me try one more. So for this, so I gotta go more to the left. All right, that's much better. Okay, that's much better. Now I could do this in bulk. Okay. Not too bad. Anyways, hope you guys have been good. I'm just gonna end the video there. And please remember, get to crafting. You know, this isn't a tutorial video or nothing like that. This is more of for you guys. I just want to hold space where you guys can draw along, craft along. You know, maybe you're working on some project, and yeah, like just create stuff, create things. Don't just sit there consuming. All right, y'all. Okay. You guys have a good week. Bye bye. Bye bye.